Who are you car shopping with? Whether it's yourself all on your own or with a significant other or a friend, there are pluses and minuses no matter the approach. I'm happy to walk you through them, but choose wisely who you want to be your partner in crime. Before we dig in, if you could take a moment to like, notify, and subscribe. I'm going to start out by defining a term. We use the third base coach. It's that party, that third party who doesn't actually have a vested interest in your car purchase in any way, shape, or form, but otherwise they have a very strong opinion. They may be just somebody that you feel most comfortable bouncing things off of, somebody in your life that is just your go-to, phone a friend, whatever, who wants to be a millionaire kind of person, right? I have a tip regarding that person though, is you want to choose somebody to bounce this off of who has your best interests at heart and who is also going to align with your vision a little bit. Because a lot of car transactions, they get stuck with the third base coach because they're either on the phone or it's from a distance or they're not familiar with the fact that you've been percolating on this a long time. So they start assuming, oh, you're just doing this on the spur of the moment. And so they talk you out of making a decision, either direction that doesn't best serve what you're trying to accomplish when you come and see us at a car dealership. And so if you're going to kind of even think about meandering in our way, have somebody. There's nothing wrong with that. Having, that feedback, that third party, that somebody who's going to be like, whoa, 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 or, hey, go for it. That's great. But I would encourage you to be kind of like selective and mindful about who is going to help you get to where you ultimately want to be at. Because if you know yourself well enough to know that you need somebody who's going to ultimately hit the brakes a little bit on your behalf, that's great. But if you also know yourself well enough to recognize the fact that you typically stand in your own way and you need a new car, you just need somebody to kind of push you over that precipice, that cusp to get you to where you want to go, that's who you should have on speed dial as you begin, continue, or hopefully for the majority of people, finish the car shopping journey. Car shopping with a significant other can absolutely be fraught with all different kinds of challenges. So if you are actually in the market with a partner and the two of you are trying to make a decision on a vehicle together, there can be a lot of different variables, a lot of different history. I have definitely been a party to conversations. I would almost feel compelled to throw myself out of the back seat of the vehicle into oncoming traffic relative to the amount of friction that they created if it weren't for those darn child locks. I'm being a little over dramatic, but not really. So I have stories. Can you tell I have stories? But I would say the punchline is if you are shopping with a significant other, with a person that you are going to be sharing financing with or just sharing the vehicle with in general, I'd encourage you to just focus on the primary. Who's going to be driving it the most? Who's going to need the functionality the most? Who is going to essentially be the default when it comes to this vehicle? And when it comes to those 50-50s, please don't put me in the middle. Just as an aside, please. I don't have a vote. It's not my vehicle. I have no vested interest on that front. But when it comes to those 50-50s, just go in mentally prepared to decide, okay, if we're split on this, we're going to default to you simply as a function of who the vehicle's for. And so if you kind of refine that when you're shopping with a significant other, if you sort of make that decision for yourself in advance of like, okay, your priorities are ultimately the priority. I may get a little bit of a vote or a little bit of an input, but ultimately we're doing this for you, and making the commitment to listen to the primary. I think shopping with a significant other is going to be a far easier process. If neither of those are the right fit for you, I have two more suggestions for you. And number one, honestly, is my preference, but we'll get to that in just a second. If you're shopping for a new vehicle with a friend, that has the potential landmines all over the place depending on the person that you choose to do your journey with. And so if you're trying to pick the right person to just go check out the car lot with, I'd encourage you selecting the person who has your best interests at heart and knows you well enough to know what decision is ultimately going to be the most beneficial to you. Because I think we all have those people who are like kind of the dominant force and who are like, and super dictate the way things that are supposed to be, make the decisions, and you find yourself out to dinner at a restaurant that you don't particularly care for, but it's okay. That's not the right person to bring with you on a journey like a big decision of a vehicle purchase. The person you want is the one who knows you well enough to know, yeah, what you're saying is important to you. Well, you want to make sure your dog fits in the back, or they think of those little things that you're not necessarily having at the forefront of your mind, but they're also willing to almost, I don't know, push you in the right direction, even if it is towards ultimately making the decision. Because if you're somebody who gets a little bit stuck in the process, and if you're somebody who overanalyzes things a little bit, and if you're somebody who needs that friend to kind of drag you along a little bit, that's the person that you want with you, because they are going to support you towards your ultimate end goal. Most people don't car shop for a hobby. Most people want to leave in a new vehicle, at least at some point in this process. You want the person that, for yay or for nay, is going to help you get there if you are bringing a friend to car shop with you. If you're shopping alone for a vehicle, I have a little bit of advice and perspective for you. And so, overarching wise, first and foremost, this is way more common than you would think. Even partnered people or people who typically bring a friend, we get plenty of people who just come in on their own, ready to make a decision. They prefer it that way, and they know what they want, so they don't want that intervention. But if you're shopping by yourself, I would encourage you to use your consultant as an actual consultant. Ask questions about the product. There are no stupid questions. There are no stupid reasons to either purchase a vehicle or not purchase the vehicle. If it's meaningful to you, it's meaningful for us. And it's still a collaborative experience. It still has the potential to be a fun experience. It's something that you are sharing. And you're also getting the benefit of, you just get to make the decision. You don't have to bounce it off of people. You know what's going to ultimately make you happy and satisfy you. So it's not uncommon to search for a new vehicle all on your own. And hopefully we as sales consultants can facilitate something that makes it a satisfying journey for you and makes it a positive touch point overall. So yes, come out, be by yourself, make your choice, find the thing that's going to ultimately make you the happiest and allow us to serve you in the process. Thank you again for watching. One more ask on that: like, subscribe, notify, so you can get those car buying tips. And also, if you could stay tuned, I've got another sequential of what does it even look like to purchase a car step by step, start to finish. Thanks and happy shopping.